I would like to procure the bag.
I wanna be a rich bitch. Penthouse doorman, money, 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 rich bitch. Hey, give me that bag. Rich bitch.
Yes. You're so rich.
Pay me.
Well then, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride,
What could be
everyone.
more happy Pride than being like mostly naked in a caftan?
I know. If you guys could just see what's happening.
Yes,
Just
I'm on my emerald green couch in my little
follow that yellow brick road.
Kaftan.
Kafco.
Not
Yes,
sponsored.
Not a sponsor, but let's say that again for the audience.
Kaftco.
And that's Kaftko.
Yes.
Yes.
Queer owned, person of color owned. It's the
best.
I love them. I have swimsuits from them. Anyway, not sponsored.
Come
give us money.
I had no idea. And then he was wearing a caftan. I was like, I love a good caftan. I've got a couple kimonos, a couple caftan moments. And but I always want more.
I mean, I have a whole drawer full.
Yeah, I have like 2 or 3, and I think about it because I have like a big, like flowy, like fuzzy kind of one, and then I have like a satiny, less coverage, and I've got like a one that you want to wear to like the pool.
Right. Yes. Well, and I mean, this was a pandemic purchase, and
a panty perch,
and it's always just like I get so irritated when we squabble about like these big corporations doing the Pride Month thing, whatever. Like, cool, happy for the rep and all that. But like, what I really want to do is support like small businesses that are queer owned. Like, why isn't that the argument and the discussion? Like, that's my question.
Okay, so some things to go to is Kaftco. That's KFTKO.com.
Yes.
Seriously.
And
not a sponsor, but be one maybe someday, please.
Andrew Russell Designs. He makes little crowns. I have 3 of them. 3 of them, I think. They're so nice. They're like croons. Yes, the 3 croons that go on my head. I wore one in my music video for Renaissance.
Where were these crowns made?
He lives in LA, I think.
Work.
Yeah.
Can people purchase these crowns?
Yes, they can. Look up Andrew Russell Designs on the Instagram.
Andrew Russell Designs. See, we're learning already, guys. We're showing you how to not be a rich bitch by spending tons of money.
By spending all your money.
Yay, Pride!
Well, but like, what's more rich bitch than a crown? Like, hello, I have so many of them.
You should see me in a crown. Yeah, no, Billie Eilish.
Well, once we get the video component of this up and running, we'll have to do a crown episode, and
we are gonna have to.
I have so many. I think I have like 5 crowns.
Well, it's a true shame that we're not on video right now because I'm wearing head to toe sequined.
Yes.
Beaded. The house. My shoes that I'm wearing are ornate. Ornate.
Just like red studded diamond encrusted.
Yes,
like
stilettos, Technicolor.
Yes, we are dressed for the carpet.
Judy Garland, click your heels, and we're home. So it is a really big shame.
And then my dumpster ass is over here in a fucking caftan and my underwear.
She's barefoot and she's wearing fucking old Calvin Klein not pants. Anyway,
Pride gay.
Pride
Also gay Pride Month. I just found out today from my friend Andrew that not the Crown Andrew, a different Andrew, that it is also Cancer Survivor Month.
Wow.
So I get to have all the things this month.
You have all the things.
I'm gay.
Yep.
And I had cancer.
Yep.
And I survived it.
Yep.
So go buy my book.
Remember it. Yeah, buy.
Right. If you want to support small businesses, hello, I am one. Hi. The book is called Cancer, Musical Theater, and Other Chronic Illnesses by Edward Miskie. I don't know if we've ever talked about this on here.
We've talked about it, but we haven't plugged it enough. So I'm glad you
said
it.
All right, we're plugging
Where
it
can
again.
they purchase it?
Cool. You can purchase it at the Drama Bookshop if you're in New York City. And if you're not in New York City, you can order it on Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, Walmart.com, Amazon, of course. There's like 30 or 40 retailers that it's on. I don't know.
Just buy the book.
Yeah, Cancer, Musical Theater, and Other Chronic Illnesses. It is the funny as cancer can be musical theater fever dream. Wow, I can't talk. About being a cancer patient and survivor.
Love it. Can't wait to be in it.
Yes. Did I just pitch my book to everyone?
I think you did. And pay attention, motherfuckers.
Because things are happening.
Things are happening.
Yes.
So this might be our inaugural episode. It won't make any sense in the chronology, but we're gonna do it probably.
It's totally
life doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and it'll make more sense as you listen through. But I was just thinking about this right now as we were talking about this, and I was laid off from my job yesterday, just in time for Pride Month. Is that a hate crime?
Ooh. Great point.
Is that a hate crime?
Yes, I think it's yes.
I think it's a hate crime.
Judge says yes.
I'm going to call someone about this.
Yeah, just call them and be like, so you firing me
I was hate crimed
is an attack.
Yes,
on
it's the violence that they
queer
chose.
folks everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think that was violence, especially considering the name of the place. And yeah, I just find it to be the biggest ironic moment of all time. But that's neither here nor there.
It's not.
What you really are is starting fresh, and that's
I am.
fucking cool.
Yes, and I'm really excited about it. I was really worried because I keep hearing, rumbles on the ground that like the job market is insane right now and no one's hiring anything and no one can get anything. And I know people that have been looking forever. I had 4 job interviews today. I have another one on Monday.
Get it.
I have a second interview on Monday.
Manifest.
Yeah, it's again, I think we talked about this yesterday. Like when you remove something that's taking up a lot of energy in your life, whether that be bad energy or good energy, but probably more likely bad energy, when that goes away, it makes room for so many other things. And it just was like a 24-hour period where I was just getting interview and interview and interview and interview and interview. It was so weird. It's never happened like that for me before.
It's like choke because I'm so happy for you.
Speaking of Pride Month.
And choking. No, I'm so happy for you because it was time, and it makes so much sense that this is like what's happening. You know?
Yeah, I agree. And yeah,
it's still surprising because anything that's amazingly good in this world is surprising because, also for the reason that we still have Pride Month is because there needs to be one still.
Yeah.
Right? I would love.
And there always will be need for one.
It's like as a woman, they're like, why isn't there blah, 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 Women's Month? Yeah, the reason there's Women's Month is because like we lost our rights in like 12 states or whatever it was when Roe v. Wade went away. And the same thing is happening for the focus, honestly, today is queer folks. The Tennessee bans, for it to be illegal to be in drag.
It's ridiculous. It's so dumb.
Is insane.
Somebody made a really good point about how, Robin Williams whatever, the Birdcage was the example.
Yeah.
And then it was Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
And then it was the White Chicks movie. And then it was like, so it's not, the problem with it isn't drag because they dress men up in dresses for TV film all the time. The issue is queerness.
Yeah.
If you're a gay person or a queer person, identifying queer person who is in drag or wearing clothes that are not of your biological assigned gender, then of course they have an issue with it because it has never been about drag. It has never once been about drag.
Yeah.
It has been about the expression of queerness.
Yep. Why is that so offensive?
Anyway, because people are dumb and they don't understand, and also organized religion and Christianity.
Yeah, I think the big problem here is like there's a lot of people, especially me as someone who was raised in a Presbyterian kind of school system and house and whatever, to start with, it is ingrained to, it's like something that's weirdly dropped into the society when you're around people that just aren't really accepting it or just not talking about it. Like it's almost like taboo.
Oh, I'm acutely aware of all of it.
It's just weird.
It is weird. And I will actually kind of say, and I know that this probably won't be a popular opinion, but I feel like for 11 months out of the year, we're like fighting legislation and we're watching all these shit things happen to the queer community and everything else. And to me, I know that Pride Month is, of course, like the origin story of how civil rights for queer people officially started. But I also like to think of Pride Month as like the one month of the year that because it is a national conversation, that it can, like, the pressure kind of eases up on us a little bit and we get to have fun.
Yeah.
And so that's why there's the pride parades and the parties and whatnot, like not just for the representation and to say we're here and we're fighting for our rights and our lives and everything else, but also like we get to have fun.
Right.
Because the rest of the year when it is not ours to have and be seen, then that's when we're fighting. That's when we're in the trenches. So yes, Pride started because of a riot and because of all of the things, but I like to view it as just like the 1 month of the year that like I don't have to think about the rest of it. And of course that is a privilege of mine to be had.
Well, we live in New York. Yeah.
Right. Well, and other things, but it's also just like I'm so tired of hearing about it all the time.
Yeah.
That I just love to have. I've always viewed Pride as a safe space.
Yeah.
Like, and even though that is completely fabricated in my mind because that's not always the reality, but for me, Pride is like this safe month out of the year that like you blend right in. You blend right into your surroundings because all of a sudden all these businesses have rainbow flags up and queerness is embraced and celebrated. And even if it's just for 30 days, it's still a safe space.
Right. I get that.
So let's have fun.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a kiki. No, but yeah, I think that's something to really say, and I think that was well said. You know, that it really is a celebration.
Yeah.
And everybody should be a part of it and celebrating. Because why not?
Yeah. And I'm like sitting here with my legs open, worrying that like my bits are falling out for you.
Fine.
And, you know,
it's all good.
I apologize.
I mean, and here in my stilettos and my,
and your floor to ceiling.
Yeah. My floor to ceiling.
Your floor to ceiling
accoutrement lifted for the gods. Yeah. No,
oh
I
God.
think that is something to say, you know, and also like, I always get really confused about the bathroom stuff because the person I'm afraid of in the bathroom with me is just a regular straight dude. You know what I mean?
That's always the case.
You know what I mean? Again, I'm not worried about someone who is trans.
No, and no one should be because the numbers don't ever support that at all. It's always like straight white guys.
Who would you feel, ladies? Who would you feel like more like scared of? Like your sis in doing your makeup with you, chilling, coming in the day. Like no one's gonna go through the whole process to transition, to possibly be ostracized, to change your life, to possibly get beat. Because, you know, if they go into the men's room, they're going to get murdered.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
why is it like it's not comprehensible to be like, well, maybe they would want to be in the space that they're supposed to be in, which is the women's room. Why is that such a big deal?
Because, again, people are stupid and ignorant. And if they would just like, you know, again, like have fun with us. That's again what Pride Month is for, is to have fun. It's why all these pop artists release these songs around this time so that, like, you know, obviously it's a money grab, but at the same time, like, it's a party. That stupid Kylie Minogue Padam Padam song or whatever it is, it's so ridiculous and stupid, but it's so fun.
Yeah, let's
you know,
have fun.
And like, you know, Taylor Swift is on tour and Beyonce's on tour, and like all these people are on tour. There's just like, it's just like the gay stars have aligned for everyone to enjoy themselves and have fun. And so, like, I would love, again, the privilege is mine, to, like, put the legislation and commentary aside for the month of June so that we can have fun and not have to think about it. Because it's, like, it's bogged down. It's tiring. And, like, you know, and that's, again, me being a cisgendered white guy, like, that's easy for me to say, you know, and I, of course, again, the privilege is mine. But, like, I would so much rather spend Pride Month, like, filling my brain with, like, sugar and pop and, like, all of the dumb shit so that I can, like, fuel up for the rest of the year, especially because we're coming up onto an election cycle where I don't have to fucking think about it because I don't want to. It's exhausting. It's and again, privilege is mine that I get to work from home and get to shut all of that shit out because I don't want to pay attention to it. And I, you know, I'm going to vote for the people that I need to vote for. Yeah. But, like, listening to it 24/7 and tuning into those voices all the time is exhausting. Right. So, like, Kylie Minogue. Yeah. What is this song?
What is it? I don't know anything about it.
Have you not heard it?
No.
It's insane.
Describe it.
It's like this.
Does she have an accompanying music video? Because, like, every music video she makes is, like, insane. I love it.
How can we do that? Is that like a thing that we can do
it'll definitely
with
get
sound?
Taken. Yeah,
it'll get taken down. Okay, never mind. So we're not going to do that. Yeah. But it's like this disco dancey, like Kylie Minogue-esque style, whatever. She's like entering her Madonna era. And
Confessions
like,
on a Dance Floor.
And like, yeah, exactly. Like kind of that. It's really, really fun and silly.
Love.
And now I saw something on Twitter the other day where someone was walking down 9th Avenue and they saw a couple walking towards them that was like a gay couple. And this guy just was like, I just said padam to them, and they like cackled and turned around and said it back.
Universal.
And I was like, is this the new universal hello? Padam padam.
Padam padam.
Padam padam.
Great. Padam padam. Love that. I'll have to listen to that because I'm not aware.
I know. I'm like not even on the radar of a whole lot of new music right now because again, like working under a rock, you know, I don't really know what's exactly new. I know I have one coming out soon.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's going to be a hot second.
Yeah.
Just because I have to like shoot the cover of it, which will take no time at all. But I just like, you know, I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And, you know, I like also don't love having my photo taken all the time unless it's in my control with angles and lighting and everything, which is, you know, a whole different conversation.
It's very gay. No,
Yeah, I have
I'm
half
very
of it.
proud.
I have half of it done. I have the background done. I just need to insert myself.
I love that.
And it's going to be really fun. But that's a cover. That's actually a band that is not. Here's the tricky part of this. This band, it was called Echolalia. My dad worked with them when I was a literal child, and it was this front woman. And
How's your dad? What
the
does your
band,
dad do?
My dad's a
those who don't
singer-songwriter,
know.
and he has a recording studio. We've
Love
always
that.
had like a mini like jankety recording studio in the house at some point, and then he's built it out over the years to be like this monster. So
That's so fun.
It was so fun. We had all these.
Imagine growing up like that, where you have like a cool artistic outlet that your father's doing.
Oh yeah, the first time I recorded my voice, I remember like running in the other room and crying because I hated the way it sounded. I was like maybe in the second grade.
Yeah.
Maybe younger. I think I might have been younger.
Do you
than
like
that.
your voice now?
I do. I don't mind
Good.
it. Yeah.
I don't mind mine at all.
No, I can listen to it to like I'm more listen to it to listen back and like
Sure.
learn from it. Like
Sure.
what did I do here? What did I do wrong here? Like what
For
can I change?
voiceover too, like when I do.
Yeah,
like,
that's kind of what
did
I mean.
smile at the end of that sentence?
Right. Did you hear
Yeah.
my teeth clacking?
That's right. Clickety
Yeah.
clack, and you don't talk back. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, having that as a kid, that's so fantastic.
It was so cool. And like these bands would come over, my dad would record for them for like no money, you know, like it was, you hear, we were talking about that the other day, is that I think it was like 30 an hour.
Wow.
Which is like, what?
That's crazy for a recording
That's
studio.
insane. Like the recording studios that I was using in the Upper West in the like early aughts were like $150 an hour.
That makes me want to be like, I want to go back in time, go to Pennsylvania, give your dad like, you know, $60 that I saved up for like a month, 2 months, and just be like, let's go.
Let's go.
record
Yeah.
something.
So they did this, and like, my dad recently just found the invoices for this band. But like, it was like $280 for this demo.
Wow.
But one of the songs was called Bubble Magic, like the gayest title ever.
Thank you.
And it has been like family lore for the better part of the last 30 years. Like this one song. There's a second song too that I'm doing later in the year from them too. But like this song has been stuck in everyone's family, everyone in my family's head for the last 30 years. And I recently was in touch with the woman who wrote it, and she gave me permission to do it. And I turned it into this like big gay epic Odyssey anime theme. It's so fun.
I can't wait.
And
I'm not
it's
gonna
a
lie
perfect.
to the audience. I've heard a little sneak peek, and it sounds
You
amazing.
have. Well, and it's the perfect Pride song too, because
It
like the
is.
one hook line is "I can be anything that I want to be."
Yes.
So that's really fun. But what's kind of the slight of it, and my dad and I were joking about this the other day, is that the song was originally written about her daughter, like like playing around in the backyard and like
Bibbles.
like being like literal bubble magic,
Oh, okay.
like the bubble stuff,
Literally
like that
bubble magic.
like that stuff, like the
Oh, the
blowing,
bubbles, yeah.
blowing bubbles.
Is that for the?
That's for the photo.
Okay, got it. It's like
It's on my
you
table.
just have that. Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered it.
Just has bubbles, caftan.
Just
it's just
casual.
giving.
I like sit in my caftan, like blowing bubbles in the corner just for fun.
We have like twinkle lights hanging off the windows.
Yeah.
Just living.
But yeah, I mean, if you listen to the lyrics, it's very much about like her daughter playing around in the backyard and like how a little girl like interacts with her mom and like plays around and whatnot. But then as a 30-something-year-old man singing that, it takes on a whole new meaning, and it's actually kind of inappropriate.
Oh.
And my dad was like, "What is one of the lines is very like." It sounds with me singing it sounds sexual. Like, I know what it is. In like the third verse, there's a line that says, I'm a daisy chain. I'm sunshine and blue skies.
Okay.
And like when you're a little girl, a daisy chain is just literally a crown of daisies.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you're an adult man, a daisy chain is something else.
Oh, what is a daisy chain for them?
Oh, we don't need to go into that. But for Pride Month, we can. So it's when you. No, I'm totally kidding.
We're good. We actually want this to be our first one, and we start the one that was originally going to be our first episode started.
It's now going to be our second episode.
Started crazy. So, yeah, we had.
We
to
always
cut part
go
of
off
that
the
out.
rails. It's so funny.
I think we are meant to go off the rails.
I kind of agree.
I think that's what the gift is of being a rich bitch, is that you can truly be yourself and go off the rails.
Yeah. Well, and like,
Take
you know,
me off the rails.
talking about take me on
put
the
me
rails.
in, coach. I'm ready to play.
But what we were talking about earlier about your feet and that whole thing. And
We were talking about wait. You mean the shoes I was wearing?
yes, the shoes you were wearing.
We're not gonna,
Um,
Yeah, no. I have really nice feet, and
You do. I do not.
it's okay.
I never have ever since I was a kid. For all of you foot enthusiasts listening, foot enthusiasts. Sarah has beautiful feet. Mine have always looked like I have run a marathon barefoot on a sidewalk. Always, ever since I was a child. Like seriously,
When you were running a marathon,
because I was running around
I
with
was
barefoot
too.
all
As
the
a
time.
kid, I was all over the cul-de-sac, giving it all I could in the woods,
and
rocks,
like
pebbly
for fun.
yards
Exactly, and for
shit.
fun, I would like walk across stones and mulch and like just being like, how far can I go? And then my feet turned into stone, and they've been that way ever since.
Somehow just were like, no, girl, you're good.
Yeah, mine are not. I wonder if there's a market for gross feet.
Yes.
Can I make money with that?
Yes.
Can I really?
Yes.
From what place of authority can you speak?
I can speak from humanity. Like what? I mean, what?
No, you're right. Well, I mean, when I was a cancer patient, there's a fetish for that.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's something for. I'm gonna start taking pictures of my gross feet.
I tore my skin off my foot.
Look, I ripped my foot. Like, who's interested in that?
Like, oh man,
they're like, yeah.
So and not to kink shame or anything like that. It's just like anything can be anything.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
I mean, what is that thing called when this is perfect for Pride? Let's talk about kinks.
Is. Oh my god. Yes. Let's do it.
What is that thing?
This will weed out any people listening that are going to be like super
traumatized later. Yeah,
that are going to be offended by.
Yeah, you don't like it, get out.
You don't like it.
There's the door.
There's the door.
There's the door.
And no one's coming for you. All right.
But what is the thing called when you when people are turned on by you sitting on food?
Oh yeah, caking or what is that called? I don't know what it's called.
I'm not sure actually.
They sit on cakes. I only remember that because of
well, it's not cake specifically.
Yeah, but it's the United States of Terror. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Oh god, that show was so good.
Yeah, it's really good. I think she does. I think.
Oh god, I missed that. What that?
Brie Larson. Yeah.
That show was just
Toni Collette.
Toni Collette is everything.
An icon.
But ended too soon.
Oh, it ended
on the list of shows that should have never ended.
It shouldn't have ended. It was so good.
The three ones that hurt the most for me are United States of Terror, Glow, and Pushing Daisies.
Yeah, Glow. Like, what happened? It just
I have no idea.
It just went away.
Well, because you could tell that they were setting up the volley for season 3, and then it just went away.
Why did that? Okay,
I don't know.
No tea, no shade, but why did that? It's also a Pride show.
It's
did,
so gay.
Well, that one, but I'm about to say another one. How come Orange is the New Black lasted for like 500 years?
Girl, I don't know.
And people, weren't super, by the end you were like, who's the main character? What's happening?
Right, because didn't she disappear for a while?
Well, they couldn't have her be the main character. She's awful. Piper's terrible.
She's annoying.
Yeah, she's just I don't know anything about the actress. I'm saying the character, as they wrote her in a hole because she was just like the least interesting person out of everyone in that entire show. Yeah. And you have Natasha Lyonne. Are you gonna freaking compete? Oh
my god!
Come on!
It should have been. Come on! It should have been like Natasha's the new black.
What am I talking about here? Huh? Come on! What are we doing? Yeah, like Natasha Lyonne is like. Someone said I was in an audition once, and they were like, "You're like a younger Natasha Lyonne."
You kind of are.
Kind of smokes less, and I'm like, I don't smoke at all, so.
So
yes,
great.
Definitely left.
Part of it's definitely the hair.
It's the attitude in the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like the two of you would be a holy hot mess together. I love that. Natasha Lyonne, come up to Washington Heights and Inwood. And
you live in New York. I know you do.
Right. Come hang out with us.
Just come through.
Where's her agent? Can we get her on this podcast?
Yeah, I love you so much. Yeah. No,
I love her.
I want to write something with her in it, and I want to be in it also.
Where you guys play like crack whore twins or something?
Yes. No, I think she would just be like, I think we'd just be friends on an adventure, whether it's like some soul searching shit or like it's a revenge thing, or maybe it's like we're assassins, we're fucking crazy.
Oh, yes.
One of those. You know what I mean? Just want to
like
casual.
Killing Eve, but like not as slick.
Killing Eve, but like messy.
Right. Like the D-list Killing Eve. Schmilling Shreeve.
That's it.
That's it. Natasha, give us a call.
That's my pitch. Natasha, we're Schmilling Steve and we're doing it.
Oh,
you
fuck.
And what's her name that's from Sister Wives? That's not the name of the show, but it was. Bill Paxton was in it. She's one of the girls on it. She's a socialite in New York. Love her.
Oh God, I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Don't worry, it's gonna be okay. R.I.P. Bill Paxton. You changed our lives with your twisterness and your Titanicness. He's been in so many movies. Do you know who Bill Paxton is, right?
I think so.
He's like the main. Do you remember Twister?
Yeah.
The main man.
Oh.
Paxton. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he is old.
And no, he wasn't that old. He had like a condition. It's so.
Wait, Titanic as in the off-Broadway show that's playing downtown?
No, I wish, but that's another thing we should
I
want to
go to that so bad. Me neither. I want to take my mom's coming up for Pride weekend. Because that's the weekend on my billboard. And so she's coming up to see it, and I might take her to go see Titanic.
Oh,
although
yes.
I mean, I'm sure she would piss herself laughing. But like it's sometimes
I was supposed to go with a friend who was visiting from New York, and then I booked something. Like last year.
Yeah.
No, earlier this year.
I need to go see it. I want
to go with. Tell me when.
They do this improv thing that keeps showing up on TikTok that is so funny. Like Celine Dion is narrating. And like it gets to this part where they're in the water and she's like, we're going to improv. She tells the audience in this like horrible French accent that they're going to improv the next part. And so she makes up something and the two, like the Jack and Rose characters have to lip sync what she's saying and do it. And it's so ridiculous and so funny.
Fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Well, I've known about it. Everyone talks to me about it. I've been to see it.
I auditioned for it like 4 years ago.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it looks so good. And like there's drag. So I should have seen it by now.
Who plays the drag character?
I can't remember. I think it's Celine Dion.
No.
Somebody's a drag, I thought.
I have no idea.
I know by clips, when my friend filmed it, it seemed like a lot of people were in drag. Maybe it was just the audience because that's who would show up. I mean, we were living. Okay, so the name of the show is Big Love. It's about a guy with multiple wives. It's crazy. But the reason I brought
vaguely remember this.
Yeah, I saw some of it. I like Chloe Sevigny.
I love her.
Me too. That's she's best friends with Natasha Lyonne, and that's why I want to do. I want to do like a show.
Oh my God!
Chloe
Stop
Sevigny,
it.
Natasha Lyonne and me. I think it would just
that
be
would be.
boom, boom, boom. It would just be.
Oh my God!
It would be
a hot mess. I love it.
I want to be every part of that.
Yes.
So anyway, those are icons to me. But yeah.
I follow Chloe Sevigny on Instagram
and everything. Yeah,
she's the best.
And Natasha. She's like,
I don't know if I do follow her.
I would follow her. I would have her read me. I know this is like cliche, but read me the phone book I would just sit there. There is no phone book, but when there was one, I'd rather.
Back in the late 1900s when there was a phone book.
It's so funny when people like, I let them read the phone books. I was like, yeah, when have you seen a phone book?
Right. When was the last time?
Was there a phone book? Like, I know there was one.
I remember one in my parents' house that I grew up in, which would be at least 20 years ago.
Yeah. Also, how weird is it? There was a time where, and honestly, let's be real, you could look up anyone right now and find out where they live and everything about them. But there was like a book openly telling you that. Like it was a book that you were like,
here's my address and my phone number and my first and last name.
This is my fears.
My blood type.
When I'm in midnight, where I'll be hanging out by myself.
Oh my God, you said midnight. Speaking of gay, Taylor Swift.
Okay, done. Yeah,
Meet me at midnight.
You're the Swiftie one of us two. I'm the Beyonce. I love Beyonce.
And it's not that I don't love Beyonce.
Yeah.
I just don't listen to her as frequently.
Oh yeah, I don't listen to Taylor Swift like that either. Yeah, but I want to hear about this.
I mean,
the latest album, right?
The latest album. It's so good. It's what she's touring with right now.
Yeah.
And I just love and appreciate her long game on the marketing front of rollouts for her albums. But there was so much speculation about this one that she was like coming out with this album.
Oh.
There was and then there was a lot of that speculation with Lover as well.
Really?
That she was coming out because there's rumors of her being bisexual and whatever. And
I'm not gonna question, but honestly, isn't everybody a little bit gay?
I mean
just
yes.
It's so, and to me, I feel like if we're all gonna Kinsey scale ourselves, right? Nobody's
100% anything.
Maybe there's some of you. That's fine, but
no. I just always think about that TikTok. There's a really great TikTok where a guy is sitting in his car. And they had to do a fire drill for work or something. And they had firemen coming in and they were doing they were enacting out whatever. And this guy, his whole thing that he had to do was that he had severe burns on his leg or whatever. And he was on the floor.
Okay.
So he's laying on the floor and he was this fireman comes over and he's he looks at his card and sees what's going on with him. He's he puts his hand on my chest and he's like, I'm going to get you out of here. And he picks him up and carries him out of the building. And the guy was like, I went into this training 100% straight. And I came out of this training I don't know. This man picked me up I wore nothing, I weighed nothing. And I just felt safe and taken care of.
Strong arms.
And I was like, yeah, that's how that goes. You know,
Yeah.
that's what the Kinsey scale is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But men for sure, you know,
Like women are so much cooler with being like the bisexuality of it all.
Yeah.
Men are so weird about it.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid. Like it's
is.
tired. We're in the year 2023, y'all. Like just
who's looking in your room? Like, you know what I mean?
Literally
Also,
nobody.
Like, you're not speaking up.
Oh. Sorry. The legs just went flying open. We're talking about bi guys, and I'm like, ooh.
No, but seriously, like it's just like, where are we? Like, why is it so? I don't know. It's weird.
It's so weird. I just think like everyone in their lifetime should suck a dick at least once.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, just to have the experience,
Yeah,
especially if you have one. So that way you know what the other person that you're
I don't
gonna.
know if I'm going to co-sign that, but I'm going to say I feel you, Edward. I feel you, right? Yeah, I feel you.
What's there not to co-sign? Like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, just do it, you know?
Sure.
And I think I'm speaking specifically to men.
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because it's
I
like
feel that.
it's like you then know the burden of the job that you're asking someone
burden.
else to do. And then you're also kind of like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Yeah,
Like,
there you
huh.
go. See? And I think the problem is too, you know, is that people that are scared of, I don't know what's going on, but they're scared of everything that isn't something that they've been, I don't know, that's not in their thought sphere or lexicon. I think it's somehow it's wrong, or I don't know what it is. It's like that's not it. Like, let's focus on the things that are actually harming
Well,
people.
it's right, but it's like the fear of the unknown for one,
Yeah.
and for two, it's also the boogeyman. You know, like
Truly.
media outlets and organized religion and politics, whatever, they've been creating boogeymen for decades,
Mm-hmm.
and so like we're just seeing like the symptoms of all of that now.
Yeah, and they're built to you know, uplift certain groups and not others.
Yeah.
And
the
and
groups,
make money.
and the uplifting of groups that we should be uplifting are really like those with you know, kind of like alternative kinks.
Yeah.
Like cake sitting.
Sure. Yeah, going back to that.
Or-
Yeah, sure. Cake sitting. Yeah, any
Or
of that.
feet. Or there's some weird ass fetishes out there, man. Like again, not here to kink shame either, but like
There's
God.
a lot of underground.
There's some
realness happening.
stuff out there.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
There's some guys that I know in the Chicago area who do like the silicone injectables into their package
Yeah.
which I think is so wild.
That's
because
crazy.
it's like, is that even usable now? Like what's going on with
That's
this?
scary.
Yeah, a little bit. It's unsafe.
Anything that could like modify you to the point where it's harmful is scary to me.
Well, and that's also, you know, I mean, not to get into the thick of all of this, but like the steroid conversation.
Oh my God.
I don't have patience for it. It
Me
makes
neither.
me nervous. Like your heart is a muscle. You're injecting muscle enhancers into your body. It will affect your heart. You will have an enlarged heart and you'll die.
Yeah.
Like, it's not smart.
Also, your back looks like a pizza.
Yes, that too.
Stop. You're gonna look like a pizza.
Back knee.
Sorry, that's
Happy
the shame
Pride,
outro.
everyone.
Yeah, fuck that. No. But I think that's the point though, is like we were talking about how pride and how people get and in general, I understand the eye rollish of it becoming marketable or whatever, but like we're saying, when it comes to religion, politics, society, the thing that keeps things going is money. We live in a capitalist society. It's money. So let's enjoy that everything is a rainbow right now.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be next month, so fuck it.
No. And it should be all year round. And
it should be.
And that is up to us to continue the rainbow throughout the course of the year. Because let me tell you something. I will say that despite the capitalism of it all, and however these companies actually think and feel and whatever
Sure.
they are actually doing with their money, the representation is there.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, it wasn't. And
Let's
so
talk about that, because how do you feel like? Because I think this episode really should be about what you're thinking about right now, and what do you feel like as a child? I mean,
growing
as a
up,
person that wasn't out.
right, growing up in the middle of a fucking cornfield in the middle of Pennsylvania where everyone was white and Christian and being told that like gay people were an abomination, you know, and me like not really ever buying into that, knowing full well from the time I could talk that I was gay.
Right.
Having brands carry things that represent queer people, of course it would have helped, because it would have made me feel in my 2,500 person town less alone.
Right.
And less isolated. Like there's hope out there. There's people out there that are like me.
Yeah.
Like one day I'll get out of here and I'll go meet the people who are like me. And it would have given me something to look forward to. And thankfully, like with the birth of the internet and the accessibility of it all, like also mitigated that and helped. But I shouldn't have had to be going on to like secret chat rooms to like meet other people when I was a teenager.
Right.
To feel safe and seen and not isolated.
Isolation is like the big problem here.
Right. And so the brand representation, you know, whether it's a money grab or it's like queer profiteering off of Pride Month, like fine, profiteer away, because some kid in the middle of fucking nowhere that lives with a bunch of cows and chickens is going to see a rainbow flag at some place and be like, oh my God, there are people.
Okay.
Like
I have a safe place to
right,
be.
exactly. Like there are others who are like me.
And I
it's
know
not
it's become
just
like a
me.
meme, safe space, blah, blah, but it's like, it's true. The reason
No, it is true.
The reason it became something like that is because, you know, when you're walking down the street and you're scared and things are not, it's an off vibe, things are off and you're targeted. And I can only come at it from a woman's perspective.
Of course.
But even growing up in Richmond, Virginia, and then going downtown with friends that were gay or are gay, that we were in plays together, and they would go, we would go downtown, we would go to restaurants, and they would go in the bathroom and change clothes into female presenting clothes, and then we would walk all over the city and feel fine. We felt absolutely fine in the city, in Cary Street.
Yeah.
But once we had to go back to the suburbs, it was change your clothes back, and we're not talking about this anymore.
Not that this is the same thing, but my best friend from high school, Vanessa, and I, we would do the same thing. We had friends that were at the college down the road, and there were a handful of times where we snuck out of our parents' houses.
Yeah.
And we would like put eyeliner on in the car and we'd put glitter on in the car.
Oh, how dangerous.
And they would drive us to the next town over, like 40 minutes away, to go to like, we had an under 18 gay bar.
I remember under 18 little clubs.
It was
and
called
stuff,
Shimmer.
so silly.
And what was
Shimmer?
It was called Shimmer.
Work.
And it was the second floor of the regular gay bar, which was called Stallions. Which is just like Shimmer and Stallions, fine, but you're putting a bunch of under 18
wait a minute. Yeah, this is
gay
not good.
like kids, children, above a bar full of like horny adult men drinking. Like this was not well thought out.
Not well thought out.
And then there were like the ones that would wait in the parking lot, and I remember that whole thing. And Vanessa and I would always be like,
that's the problem is because someone's going to hone in on that and go, see, predators, see,
right? But that's literally everyone.
My point is that's in every single weird, not anything. Any single group has some people in it that are
right. When I said that's everyone, I don't mean everyone. I mean like that is every single group has their problems and has their people. But
there's weird stuff in my church. There's weird stuff in my
of course. But like that, despite that dynamic, truly, like I didn't really clock that dynamic when I was that age, because I was just happy to get out, and be in a space with other people.
Right.
But like I didn't have that growing up as a kid. That was when I was an older teenager. You know, it wasn't until I moved to New York that I really like got to meet people who were also queer and also out and cool with it. You know, even though I was out at 16, like it was still you know, kind of touch and go. And so like having that as I'm talking like a little kid, knowing that I was gay and knowing that everyone around me, I presumed, thought that was bad.
Right.
If I would have gone to JCPenney and seen like, you know, advertisements of like two gay men together, like in JCPenney clothing or whatever, you know, like that would have been something that I could have looked to have been like, oh, I'm going to be okay. And I didn't have that. And I had to like, you know, persevere by the strength that my grandmothers gave me to get through until I was in an actual safe space.
Right.
You know, and there's all kinds of other fucked up shit that goes along with that too.
Of course.
But like, you know, I think that we can be upset about the corporate grab of it all.
Sure. But we can always get upset about everything. Like the whale, it's not good enough. And it's still better.
Right. Everyone hates everything.
Everything's bad.
So, you know, there's a place for everything. And I just think that if we're going to vilify corporations and hold them accountable for what they actually stand for, fine, let's do that. But then also let's not get them to the point where they're retracting statements on pride support, because then that's also confusing for younger people coming up. Who are like, wait, is it okay? Is it not okay? But it's still in the store. Like, can I be here? Is it safe for me to be here? And on top of that, like the kids that are coming up now are way smarter than we ever were.
Truly.
And it's terrifying. Exactly. They have infinite access to information.
I think the problem is though, is like they also have infinite access, which leaves them open to the bullying levels that are beyond anything, at a high level. That's so, that's the one thing I don't like about, well, one of the many things I don't like, but I love the internet. I love everything that's given me. I love that people can connect. I love that we can express ourselves, especially like during months like these where we can talk about everything and express everything and show support in such a high volume. But I do think that the younger generation coming up now, Gen Z and younger, it's a little bit interacting with human beings in a place physically they're not as good at that as we were, because we had to seek those spaces.
Right. Well, and it's also too, I love the fact that I grew up before the internet.
Yes.
And that I have memories of pre-computer.
Yeah.
And still even now, sometimes I'll take my phone and turn it off and just like leave and walk out into the world and just be very analog about it. And I love it. It's just the best.
I love that. I do that too. I do a lot of cabin. I'm a big Woodstock gal.
Yeah.
And we'll just go and we'll just, there's actually a box in the cabin that we like to rent. There's like this company that does like cabins that have one side is fully glass and you just see I'll tell you.
Oh my God, send it to me, please.
Actually, guys, no, I'll tell you the company. It's called Getaway. It's amazing. And they are very LGBT forward, because a lot of their, like, what they'll do in their social media show couples that went, or like photos a lot of influencers go, people that aren't, and all that stuff. And they post a lot of like queer families and people, just like,
amazing.
And artists too. And what you do is when you get there, it's called Getaway. It's in any major city. It's actually in about like 17 major cities. And you can put your phone in this lockbox they have. You're just like, come on now. And you've got everything you need. You've got kitchen. You've got
God, I love
bed.
that.
You've got like little games if you want to use. You have a radio.
Oh my God, send me away.
Yeah, it's
I
literally
go.
Truly.
This is reminding me, not to like beat the Taylor Swift of it all to death, but she has this song called The Lake.
It's you. You're the problem. It's you.
I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah. She has this song called The Lake. It's the bonus track on the end of the Folklore album. Yeah. And it's about a real group of people. And I want to say that they were all queer artists. I'm just going to say that they were, because artists.
Yeah.
But it was this group of queer artists that didn't want to be part of society anymore. And so they all collectively bought a house on a lake, and they just went out there and made art.
Wow.
And like wrote stuff and like did all the things until they died. And the line in the song is, take me to the lake where all the poets went to die.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh God, I want to do that.
Yeah. No, I think
and this company with the glass front of the house, I'm like, yes, take me there.
Yeah.
Let me just go right.
I think we should do it. We should.
Let's do like a retreat.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I have a cool code that'll get us some discounts, and it's amazing.
Discounties, yes.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Discount.
And it's just one of those things. The last time we did it, we've only done it in like the winter time. Now we're gonna do it in the summer. It's coming up on our 3rd year anniversary, me and Mike.
Yay, Mike.
And then just literally in a couple weeks, and the 18th we'll be there. That weekend. And it's one of the most refreshing, rejuvenating things. But it's like so natural to be in nature. What I was trying to say though too is like, even in the days, isn't it beautiful like that human beings like us, before the time of the internet, found our tribe, our people, our friends that were open, that were artists, that were expressing themselves in such societies where that wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
given.
even New York, the first couple years I was here, iPhones didn't exist.
Right.
I didn't have an iPhone, I think, until 2008.
Yeah.
8?
I think I got
Was it 8? When did I buy that? I don't remember. I definitely had one on my cruise ship. So that was 2010. Whatever the case is, I moved here in 2005, and the first couple of years was like flip phone, Razor phone. Yeah. And like those were clunky as hell, and I lost them all the time.
Yeah, I had a Razor.
I went through like 3 different Razors. And I had the silver one, obviously.
Yeah.
But, being able to find people... part of me feels like it was so much easier to find people then. than it is now. Even though you have access to so much information, like yes,
it's almost overwhelming.
You can log onto an app and talk to someone, but that doesn't mean you're going to meet them.
Yeah.
There are people that hit me up on these apps that I've been talking to for years and I've never met.
But I'm even saying not just like dating for sure, but I feel like even like, you know, just growing up.
Well, at this point, it's not dating. They're just talking to me for like, they're just like, hi, how are you? I'm like, great, fine. And then we talk for like 20 minutes. I don't hear from them for 3 years.
I missed the dating apps because I was with somebody for so long, from when I was a teenager through for a decade. And then by the time I was out and downloading the apps, then we went into deep lockdown. So I really didn't go far with it, but I hated it when I was
they're overwhelming. I delete them
as a woman,
regularly.
I'm sure it's less of a fun experience for some people, but I think it's not a fun. I don't think it sounds like a fun experience for anyone, to be real.
It's overwhelming and it's mostly disappointing.
Yeah, it seemed that way to me. I'd be like, left, nope.
And I'm not going to pretend that I haven't disappointed anyone before, because I fully, surely have.
Not on an app, but I've definitely disappointed.
I've done both.
Yeah.
But like, I just think that there was something really special about being able to go out into the community before iPhones, because now, this is so stupid, and I'm totally guilty of this too. People go to gay bars and they just stand around on their phone looking at the apps of who's nearby, instead of like using your fucking eyes and seeing who's nearby and talking to them.
Someone nearby.
It's my mommy.
I'm just kidding.
It's my mom. She just texted me.
I love that your background is our podcast.
Of course it is.
I love that so much. I agree. That's so silly. It's like it's go
silly
there
and it's
to
weird.
What? Not talk to anyone. Like,
yeah, you go there to sit in the corner and look at your phone, where you could just do that for free at home.
But that's what I'm worried about with the generation. Like, if we're already doing that, we're just gonna get worse with that unless we get out of here and celebrate like we want to do at Pride.
Right. Party time.
Party time. But
I'm
like
choking.
that's what I mean is like I feel like you know, when I was at school, if I was in like the club, like the LGBT club, or what was like even like certain weird like random clubs like the art club and stuff, I would just find a lot of really cool people, and I felt like so, I don't know, it just felt so less stifled. It felt more authentic. Because everybody that's walking around is a flesh and blood human being who has,
and because that's because, like, you know, in those clubs, like, again, that's the safe space. That is the physical safe space. You know, it's why there's a lot of attitude towards people who bring their straight girlfriends and they bring their boyfriends, and there's like straight people in the gay clubs, because like, no, I'm sorry, like, get out. This is our safe space and you don't need to be here. Like, this is all we have.
Yeah.
They've taken most of them. Half of them have closed, and only new ones pop up every so often, and if they last, then great, but like, there's only so many, you know, and like, if you can name every single gay bar, there aren't enough of them.
Truly.
Because, like, I couldn't name every single straight bar in New York, because it's all of them.
Just a bar.
It's literally all of
bar,
them.
any bar.
Right.
Like,
and so, like you have all of them. Go there. Don't come to ours unless you're invited.
Well, there's a person I'm going to bring up. She was on my old podcast with Lindsay, podcast full of women. There's a lesbian bar project. Let me read you some really crazy facts. Erica Rose, I believe. Yeah, Erica Rose is amazing. She directed me on a really fun female-led pilot where I was a really unhinged forest ranger in the woods. Really good shit.
Oh my God, I love it.
I really enjoyed it so much. We shot it right before COVID and all that good stuff. Anyway, at the Lesbian Bar Project is let's see. Erica Rose produced it, but the facts are crazy. Like, essentially, like, she was saying how there's only 40 left in the country or something like that, lesbian bars. Something really
As far as I know, there's only 2 of them in New York. It's like Cubbyhole and Henrietta Hussins.
I've been to Cubbyhole a couple times. Love the Cubbyhole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the thing. So if you guys want to follow them, it's the Lesbian Bar Project. It's on Instagram. Yeah, Erica Rose is a baddie. She's been on my podcast before. She's a fabulous director. But yeah, some of the facts about, especially lesbians, man, it's like, yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, they'll fight for shit. They
back down. They have. I mean, there's a very long history of lesbians helping the gay community during the AIDS crisis too. Like, they were the ones that were helping everyone when no one else would touch them or come anywhere near them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into all of that because we talk about that every Pride.
But yeah, so like, yeah, guys, look up the Lesbian Bar Project. You'll be probably blown away about things. It's on Roku now. There's like a series now that they got picked up, which is wonderful. But yeah, I just think I think that's time to celebrate. I think it's time to stop worrying about what people do, unless they're hurting someone and they're not. So worry about yourself and be happy. Yeah. And also look at yourself and wonder, like, why am I so mad? You know, like, why do I care?
I feel like maybe the people who need to hear this are not listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like we're not their demographic.
I don't know. I feel like some people in my life that will listen because I'm on it.
Yeah,
will
that's
absolutely
fair.
need to hear this.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I retract.
Yeah, I think that's important.
But
if
yeah,
we're gonna be like, we can be like we are. It's hearts, stars, and rainbows, clovers and balloons, pots of gold, and the red balloons and unicorns.
Yeah, all day long.
All day long, literally all day long. But
that's my lucky charms.
My lucky charms, me lucky charms. But we have to say some real shit because I think that regardless, there is fuckery happening, and people are going to listen to this that are like, oops, and I wanted to be a rich bitch. Why am I hearing about this right now?
Right. And I really think that we're getting to a point now, and I've seen this again, like on Twitter and TikTok and whatnot, but like the queer community is not having it. You come for us, we're going to take you down. Like, I love it. I love it when these videos cross my timeline where like someone is harassing some queer person and that person takes them out.
Yep.
And I'm just like, yes, knock him down. Mm-hmm. Like, that just brings me the most joy always.
Agreed. It's such a slay.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah, it's such an absolute slay. It really gives me. And one of my favorite Pride things to do is, first of all, the parade is amazing.
I love the concept of the parade. I hate being there because the crowds are insane.
It's getting insane.
I mean, I think the 18 years that I've lived in New York is like, I think in that period of time, I've only gone to the Pride Parade maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to get to.
Well, I worked on a float once, and I was a person on a float too. Oh, that
had to be fun.
And it was a damn ball, and it was great.
I'm sure, because you didn't have to pry your way through stacks of people. And the last year that I went, I think was maybe 2000, I don't know, 9, 10.
Wow.
Something like that. No, 10, not possible. I wasn't here. I don't know. It was a really long time ago. And I just remember trying to cross the street.
Oh, yeah. No, any parade in New York, you're fucked.
And this cop like shoved me back and was like, you have to go around. And I had to walk like 10 blocks to cross the street and come back down. It was so stupid. So I just don't go because I find that to be
a really fun queer parade
annoying.
To go to is the Mermaid Parade, which I go to every year in Coney Island.
I've never been to that.
I've gone every single year for, I think, 9 years. It's one of my favorite things of all time.
I always see pictures of it. It looks fun, but I've never been.
You should come this year.
When is it?
It's usually in June or July. I think they've kind of moved it around because of COVID. So I don't know exactly this year. I'll tell you, actually.
Let's look up the Mermaid Parade.
But one of my favorite things to do is watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I know that you're not super into that, but I am obsessed with it. I've been obsessed with it since season 3. It was like one of my first introductions to explaining. I was like, this is so iconic because you're watching someone transform before you. And is talented on top of it.
Yeah, no, I mean the talent levels there are amazing. It's just it has gotten a little monotonous for me, and so I'm like,
it keeps going. It's become like the spinoff of this spinoff and that spinoff.
Well, and somebody said something to me the other day. They're like, drag is football for gays. Like you only watch it so you have something to talk about with them. Oh. And I was like, oh yeah, that might be true.
That sucks. Yeah, for me, it's like there's certain ones that resonate with me because what they're doing is they're portraying women. Some of them are women, but most of them are portraying women and making like jokes or making like caricatures or whatever. And it's actually very freeing as a woman to watch men be hyper women, like hyper women,
like caricatures of women,
like fabulously so. Because it's like it brings it out in like me. It makes me excited.
Yeah.
It also feels like camaraderie wise, like they get it what it's like to have tiggle bitties, and like what the burden of that is and what heals and all that good shit.
I don't remember if you and I were talking about this. I was talking about this recently. I don't think it was with you. But when I was working in finance long time ago, there was an article in some magazine. I don't remember. It might have been the New Yorker, but it was about this straight guy who was married with children, who was a professional cross-dressing dom.
Wow.
And like would go out in like the leather outfit, and there was a whole spread of this dude in his outfit, and like no trace of a man anywhere in there.
Wow.
It was phenomenal.
I love stuff.
Absolutely
like that.
fascinating.
I
But
love the human mind.
But it was this huge article on this person, and in the article it just kept saying like we're concealing this person's identity because they are married and straight and have children, whatever. But it was just so wild. I wanna see if I can find the article again.
And
I'll send it to
I
you.
was looking up. I completely lost my thing.
You were looking at mermaid. Mermaid Parade, sorry.
I've just
But
been
yeah,
so enthralled by
I
your
remember
story.
that article so clearly. I think that was like 2008 or 7 or 8 or something like that. And I just remember being like, wow, that is wild.
Yeah, no, it's freaking. It's iconic. Okay, Mermaid Parade, Coney Island, USA. Yeah, Mermaid Parade's crazy. It's in Coney Island. It's literally wild and crazy and free. There's so many mermaids. You know, in New York City, it is legal to be topless, so there's a lot of that. There's a lot of glitter. A lot of adults, kids everywhere. I mean, it's like human body's a human body, so there's not like crazy stuff happening, but it's like it's really cool. June 17th. I'll be
soon.
in a cabin. Fuck.
I mean,
the one
there are
first
worse
year-
places to be.
Yeah, I know. I'm literally gonna be celebrating like love and be
Yay,
in the woods.
with
So,
your
yeah.
with your hot boyfriend with the great tits.
Yeah, okay. Mike really works out, my boyfriend, and it was so funny. Me and Ed were on like I think we were like just on a Zoom.
We're on a
talking,
Zoom, yeah.
just shooting the shit. And he came in and said hi, and then he.
I
started
thought you
leaving.
had your headphones in, and you
I
definitely did not.
And you were like,
I was like, oh.
and what did you
Okay.
say exactly?
I was like, his tits look great.
And that's it. And you know what's so funny? Mike was like,
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. He was like thankful. He was like, cool.
He should be thankful
Yeah.
that I'm even looking at his tits.
Well, I mean, no. Okay, he's not easy. But I think I think, you know, when you're a guy who's straight, or, you know, it's like you don't get really catcalled all the damn time, you know? So to him, I'm sure he was like,
I'll fucking catcall him.
And also he's not homophobic, so
No,
he
he's
thought it was
totally
great. Do you know what I mean?
That
Like
kinda makes
that
me-
would probably trigger somebody though that was like,
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah. There is part of me that like wants to now just catcall Mike every time I see him.
yeah. And he's just like,
Like, ow, ow.
and he's like,
woo.
all right, this is getting kind of annoying at this point. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think I always say to the guys who catcall in the streets to women and are so gross and weird. If a guy did that to them, they're the ones who would freak the
Oh my
fuck
God.
out. It's
This
never
is-
those ones. It's always there's never an intersection. There's never someone like,
No.
hey, like saying weird stuff to me. I'm sure, but if I was a man, I was like, hey baby, they'd be like, oh, ew, get
well,
away from me. Ugh.
what I'm about to say is gay rights. So anytime I am walking anywhere,
Yeah.
and I see a guy like blatantly checking a woman out,
Yeah.
to the point where they're doing that like lip smacky shit, and they're
we
like
need
saying,
to know what you think.
I
Ew.
will stare them down with my sex bedroom eyes, and I will just look at them, and I'll just give it right back to them. And like there's always some kind of reaction.
Yep.
But it's so funny.
Good.
It's my favorite thing in the whole
Well,
world.
I hope they feel a fraction of what we feel.
Just a fraction, like
Just
right
a
in their
little bit.
right in their
I hope
little.
he goes home and he's like,
Yeah, I hope it gives them a prolapse.
yeah. Live.
I hope me just looking at him.
I love that we're at the hour mark and that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. Maybe are we going to end with a prolapse?
I mean, why not?
Sure.
Rosebud. No, but I think really the point is that let's celebrate everybody. Everybody should be celebrating this month. It's a celebration. It should be a celebration.
It's a celebration.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's all that. That was such a
do.
deep voice.
I have range.
Yeah, no, it's like it's such a cool, beautiful month, and I'm so glad it's in the summer and not in like the Siberian tundra of the
Oh my
winter.
God, could you
'Cause
imagine
that's a
Pride
hate
in
crime.
winter?
They're like,
That's a
Pride's
hate
now
crime.
in February. You're like, hateful, hate.
Burn it down. Burn it all
Isn't
down.
that Women's Month? So cool. Yeah, I love that for us.
Yeah, they'll just combine the two and be like, "You people."
You fucking bitches. But yeah, well, happy Pride, everybody, and
Happy
this is our
Pride.
inaugural ep. We just wanted to start our podcast kicking off
in June. And guess what June is? It's Pride
It's
Month.
the month of the gays.
It's the month of Edward because truly it is the survival.
It's the Cancer Survivor Month. It is Pride
It's giving
Month.
Pride. It's
giving
cancer
me summertime,
survival.
so it's Kaftan Month.
Summertime sadness. Just
Summertime-
kidding, I love Lana.
No
Already,
sadness.
No sadness. Summertime happiness.
Summertime thrilled. It's
and
hot
yeah.
girl. It's hot gay summertime.
It is. And you know what? Tip your gay friends. And
Yeah, just give them money.
yeah.
I used to do that every so often where Pride would come along and I would post my Venmo and my
Do it.
Instagram story and be like, it's Pride, pay
I
me.
should do that in women's.
I might start doing it again.
I might just start
Be
doing
like,
it
hey
Saturday.
guys, I was just laid off. It's Pride Month, pay
yeah,
me.
that's. Please.
Maybe I'll
this.
do that tomorrow.
Do that now.
On the second day of Pride.
On the second day of Pride, Edward got 80 grand.
Because I put my Venmo in my Instagram.
So yeah, stick with us.
And send me money.
Yeah, send him money. Stick with us. We're gonna be talking about how to be a rich bitch. It's about everything. It's about wealth in yourself, wealth in your friends, wealth in your
And just embodying being wealthy.
yes.
Even if you're not.
Even if you're not, you
Don't have a
are,
penny
though.
to your name, you can be fucking fantastic.
Because I think what you're doing now, literally, is post job, is manifesting, and just because you're giving that energy, it's coming back to you, honey.
And I've said before, and I'll say it again, that I am at the place right now where it's like, I'm not even worried. And I don't know if that is like growth or if I'm having
Delusion.
a psychotic break.
Either way, I'm here for it.
Great.
So give him
It's
the
psychotic
dollars.
break summer. Yeah.
Psychotic break summer. But yeah, give us the dollars, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of How to Be a Rich
Bitch.
You're so rich.
Pay me.